I want to tell you guys one of the biggest regrets that I have in my life when it comes to money and how you guys can hopefully avoid this mistake. Ideally, this is primarily for people who are younger and, maybe just getting out of high school, maybe getting out of college, whatever it might be. This isn't just for young men, which again is primarily what my channel is about, but this is for, men and women. But that advice is very simple. This could be a pretty short video, and that is to start working as soon as you possibly can and ignore how much you're getting paid, right? Because what people do is they get sucked into thinking, okay, I have to get this, six-figure job. I have to be making six figures when I'm 20 years old or 25 years old, whatever it might be, right? And they get this mentality to where they're too good to accept jobs that might be paying them less, right? And because of that, they miss out on time, they miss out on experience, and they miss out on the building blocks that are going to help them to actually become a six-figure earner, maybe a seven-figure earner, right? Give them the ability to be able to invest and be able to put money aside, right? Because the sooner you're able to start stacking money and buying investments, guys, the better off you're going to be because of compound interest, right? I'm sure every single person who is watching this video understands what compounding interest is and why that's valuable. If not, look it up. It's very, very simple concept, or if you guys want me to do a video on that, I can do it. But my point is, you want to be earning money as fast as you possibly can, and you don't want to give up opportunities just because you're looking to, score a home run on your first play, right? So, just to give you guys a little bit of story, when I first got out of college, I was playing college basketball for 1 year, and I ended up dropping out and just got right into work. I jumped into a marketing course from Ty Lopez, so shout out to Ty. He's the one that kind of got me started, and I've been in marketing and advertising ever since, so close to 10 years. But I started a marketing course that I got from a refund check from my college, and I started a marketing agency, and that was phenomenal experience, starting that agency and being able to work and figure things out, taking that course. But my biggest regret is that I didn't go work for a marketing agency first. I started a marketing agency, having not ever done that before, right? And by me doing that, I had to figure all these lessons out on my own, which took me, 4 or so years, right? And then after those 4 years, what I ended up doing was getting connected to a marketing agency, and I ended up going there, right? Which is where I am today, right? And I help run that company, which has been a phenomenal learning experience. But had I just jumped into, an internship or, working, making 30 grand a year, whatever it might be, just for some local agency, I would have learned so many of those lessons on day one, and I would have been able to plug into a system to where they already have things figured out, and I could be taking notes on what they're doing the entire time. And then if I wanted to create a business afterwards, I could just steal their systems and just use the exact same process that they're doing, right? But instead of that, I got out of school and I tried to do it my own way, which cost me about 4 years, right? I didn't make very much money at all those 4 years. I made a little bit. I wasn't completely broke, but I didn't make very much money. It was tough because I had never done it before. I'm like 21, 22, 20 years old when I'm doing all this, right? So if you're coming out of high school, if you're coming out of college, I think you guys should work as many jobs as you possibly can at once and stack as much cash as you possibly can, live as cheap as you possibly can, and do that for as long as you possibly can, right? And if you can get a job working in the field that you want to be in this example, marketing, what I would do is go work for free if you need to. Or if you get a job working for them, who cares how much they're paying you, right? It's not your end-all be-all. Your mission right now is to accumulate skills so that you can go and get a better job or create a business at some point. That's your objective right now. Your objective is not to get rich off of this one job. Nobody gets rich off of a job, right? Just to be clear. So what you have to do is use that as a training ground for you to be able to make money and learn skills. And the entire time you're doing that, you don't have the pressure of like having to figure this out on your own. You have somebody who you're working underneath, hopefully, who's smart and has done this at a successful level and can teach you everything they know, right? And I promise you, anybody can do this. This isn't just for the young guys that I'm speaking to. Anybody at any age can do this, but I promise you it's much easier to take this route and have this mentality when you're, in your early 20s or even younger than your 20s, right? If you're 18, 19 years old and you go and approach a marketing agency owner and you said, hey man, I'd love to work with you, pay me, $15 an hour, whatever it might be, right? I guarantee you they're going to want to do that. If you have a good attitude and you show up and you work hard, they're going to tell you everything you need to know, right? And if you go and work for that person for a year, maybe 2 years, you're going to know every single thing that they do in their business. And then after that, if you want to start a business, then you can go and do it. And then you have all those lessons, right? But in that 1 or 2 years that you're working for that person, you're learning what would take somebody else 4 or 5 years, right? If they're doing it on their own. So guys, use jobs to learn as much as you possibly can. Use jobs to get paid to learn, right? There's no other opportunity out there that is going to give you the ability to learn and get paid to do it, if you think about it. I mean, seriously, think about that for a second. You're getting paid to learn a high-value skill, right? If you look at it that way, it's not that big of a deal, right? And again, I had another video about this recently, but everybody's always shitting on jobs. You shouldn't have a job. You need to be working for yourself. I agree. I mean, I think that's the ideal situation, but the reality is most people have jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're a very high value person in a company and they can't function without you, and you're one of the critical people that's inside that business that helps the business get going. Some people call these people intrapreneurs, not an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur. If you're one of those people, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You earn a good living. Those people get paid, by the way, I promise you. You make good money doing that and being a critical piece of a business. You don't have to be the owner to make money, contrary to what the internet says. And you can have a pretty cush lifestyle and not have all the financial and, stress that comes along with owning a business, because owning a business is extremely stressful. You don't know where your next paycheck is coming from. You're responsible for all the people that work with you. You might lose a client the next day. You might not eat. I don't need to explain that to you guys, but I promise you, if you can become a high value person inside of a company, you can really write your own paychecks. You can, because if I say, hey, boss, I'm going to leave unless you pay me X, and I'm valuable, so valuable that that person can't operate his business, then he has to pay me. There's nothing else to it. Your goal is to have leverage over your boss. That's the reality. People might call that crazy. They might get mad at you for saying that. Whatever. That's the reality. Your job is to have leverage over your boss so that you can say, hey, pay me XYZ, otherwise I'm going to go somewhere else. And they have to pay you. That's how people make money. That's how people stair-step their career and make money moving from job to job to job. That's how people do that, right? And again, just to bring this all back to my original point, this all comes back to having experience and having high-value skills. And the best way to get those, again, contrary to the internet, is working a job, learning from the people who have been doing that, learning from the people who own that business, learning from the guys and girls who have been in that business and that have executed the work that you're doing, and take as much as you possibly can from them, and then you go and do it yourself if you want to, right? If you just want to stay there and keep making money with that company, that's great, right? I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. If you want to work for a company, if you want to own a company, it doesn't matter. There's extremely successful people that have done both. So you can make money doing both, just to be clear. But again, just to recap, I think that people should make money and start working for businesses as soon as they possibly can. I would even do this in high school and through college. I would immediately jump into trying to get an internship working for a company that's fast-paced, that is going to teach you a lot. I'm not talking about some bullshit corporate job where you're just plugging things into an Excel spreadsheet. I'm talking about smaller businesses that are startups that are trying to make money, that are making shit happen. You will get so much out of doing that if you just approach it with a learner's mentality. I don't know if that's a word, learners. If you approach it with a mentality of, hey, I want to learn as much as I can here, I promise you the 1 or 2 or 3 or 30 years that you are spending working there, you will get a tremendous amount of value and learn so much from that experience that it's going to help you out for the rest of your life, throughout your career, and it's going to make you a whole hell of a lot more money than what you started out with. So, guys, that's my biggest regret. I hope this helps you guys out. I would start working as soon as you can, do as much as you can, and don't stop doing that. It's not easy. But that's the reality if you want to be a high earner in America, and in the West, and in the world, really. So, anyway, let me know if this helps you guys. And talk to me in the comments. Give me a like on this video. Support the channel. If you have any topics you want me to speak about, let me know. Would love to kind of give you guys some more breakdowns and some more detail if it'll help you guys out. So, peace.